back to another episode of FIFA 19 Career Mode Things We Hate. This series aims to showcase the opinions of the people, what they don't like about FIFA 19 Career Mode, and we also offer suggestions on how we can improve Career Mode in the future. We've got some good things in today's episode, so I hope you do enjoy. If you do enjoy the video, leave a thumbs up for me. Let's get to 500 likes. And if you're new around here and you want to see more of this series, hit the subscribe button today and the notification bell, and you won't miss anything. As always, if you want to get your opinions featured on the series, then make sure you send me a message on Instagram, Twitter, or leave a comment down below. I try and check everything, and we have a big list so far, so we have probably 6 or 7 episodes already scheduled in for the next few months. So what I've been doing with the channel lately, if you've noticed, the last week or two, I've started to only push the FIFA 20 and the Career Mode series at the moment. I've gotten rid of the player potential videos and all the other little videos that I usually make throughout the week, and I've stopped going daily at the moment. I want to try this new experiment that I'm testing out for the next month or two. If things don't really go as well as planned, then I'll bring back all the other content, but at the moment I'm trying something new, and if it goes well, then I'll just move the content to the second channel. So in case you were wondering, that's why I'm pushing the 2 series, the Career Mode Things We Hate and the FIFA 20 series on the channel at the moment heavily. So we're going to start with some player career mode today, and the first thing comes from Amfu Panda. He doesn't like the fact that in player career mode, when you're first starting out, you can choose whatever club you want to play for, like Real Madrid, Man United. He doesn't like the fact that you can start at a big club basically. And it's sort of unrealistic unless you've come from the youth academy like a Marcus Rashford or something like that. But basically, when you choose these big clubs, they just loan you out at the start. And then when you come back from loan, you're automatically in the starting 11 and they test you out for a few games. So he wants it to be more realistic, where the game forces you to start in a lower division or at a poorer club, and you got to start with more humble beginnings. He told me that he likes the way PES does it, so we're going to test this out. We're going to see what it does. So basically, I'm starting a new Become a Legend with an original player, and we're going to see what happens. I'm just going to pick any national team, and we're going to get into it. So this is where you pick your position, and this is where, if you're happy, you can confirm that. And pretty much this is where you select your league. You can't actually select a specific team. You can only select the league, and they're going to throw you into whatever team they think you fit in. So if I pick the Premier League, for example, I can't pick a team. I've just selected the Premier League, and the game will start up, and we'll see what team we end up with. So rather than being put in like Man United or Chelsea, we got thrown into Huddersfield Town, and this is what Amfu Panda is trying to say. Like, at least PES puts you in like a humble beginning where you have to start at a weaker club and work your way up. I can understand how this is more realistic, but there's nothing really stopping you from picking a lower division yourself and starting there, or picking like an A-League club. So I guess if you really wanted to start with a humble beginning, you could, but the game gives you both options. You can pick your dream club straight away, or you can start your career at a bad club and work your way up. It's up to you. So this one comes from me. The thing that's getting on my nerves now is the fact that you need to scout players fully before you find out their transfer values and their wage values. It's particularly annoying when you need to do an emergency signing and you can't wait 20 days to figure out their value. You have to go in blind half the time, and the game doesn't have like a price range to tell you a minimum value and a maximum value to help you when you're putting in your offers. So let's take this example. If you want to buy Andre Gray, I haven't scouted him before. Obviously, if I did scout him, it would tell me the proper values, but like I said, sometimes you can't be bothered or you don't have the time. So if I wanted to buy him, I don't have no guides to tell me how much he's worth unless I use FIFA or my transfer guide. So if I go into approach to buy, there's no values whatsoever. So if I'm offering a transfer fee, I could give him 40 million. I probably overpaid right there, and I have no choice, because if I do too little, then I'm going to lose the deal. And it's particularly bad as well when you choose to delegate. There's no options, there's no guide, it just says £1, £1. So like, that doesn't help me at all. But if you were to discuss wages now and you go into the transfer room, sometimes you might get lucky. Sometimes the agent will tell you how much they're looking for in a weekly wage, but other times you'll have to guess yourself. Like right now, I have to decide on an offer that's good enough, and I have no guides to tell me nothing. So let's say if I give him £50 a week, £50,000 a week, sorry. I don't know if that's good enough, but we'll see what happens. See, that was way too low. So £50,000 is not bad in terms of a wage, but they still disagreed with that. And what I'm saying is, if you don't have time to scout the player properly, you're going to lose a lot of deals because you don't know anything about the values, which is a little bit annoying. This next one comes from Dallin, and he doesn't like the fact that there's no relegation release clauses when you get relegated from the Premier League to another league. So basically, relegation release clauses are in player contracts to basically get them out of jail if the team goes down. So I think Shaqiri went to Liverpool because of a relegation release clause in his Stoke contract. So that's basically what it is. It allows clubs to bid for the player at the agreed price in the contract. It's a little different to normal release clauses because normal release clauses are not dependent on relegation, but these relegation type of release clauses mean that the team has to get relegated for you to lock in that price and bid for the player at that price. So I think it would be cool to throw in some relegation release clauses as well. Could make things a little bit interesting for some players in some teams, and I think you could score some really good bargains if they did implement this feature in the game as well. This next one comes from Footy News. He doesn't like the fact that the FIFA 19 concept managers are exactly the same as the FIFA 18 ones. Now, if it was up to me for FIFA 20, I would like to be able to create my own manager and use my game face as well. That would be cool. And if you can't do that, then at least let us choose from some real life managers that are licensed in the game. But if EA is going to go down the road of concept managers again, they need to add some new ones because I'm getting sick of looking at the same ones over and over. And they need to add more variety as well, because sometimes you end up with two managers with the same face and you see them shaking hands in the matchday introductions and that, and it just looks pretty bad. A few of you have spotted the manager without a face in FIFA 19 Career Mode's startup menu where you get to pick a manager. This was the same thing in FIFA 18. I know a few of you guys thought that it was like manager customization, but because it was in FIFA 18 and there was no customization, I highly doubt EA is going to add manager customization in this year's game. Now, this is something that EA can definitely do, but it's going to take a bit of work. Richard wants to see voiceovers during transfer negotiations in career mode. Now, I think for the licensed managers, they have to do it properly, like actually use the real life voices of the licensed managers. Otherwise, you're going to have Jose Mourinho with like an Australian accent or something, which is going to sound weird in the game. Or you're going to have Guardiola with like a British accent, which could be a little bit weird. But I think for the generic managers, they could do it. Just get like 5 or 10 different people to record voiceovers for it. And at least we'll have some voices to listen to while we're doing transfers. Because currently you have to read the stupid subtitles and it gets a little bit boring after a while. The next one comes from Nohi, and he doesn't like the players are not willing to relocate feature. He says in previous FIFA games you could still tempt them with huge money and wages, but now you can't even bid for them. He said he was playing a Stevenage career mode and was trying to purchase Phil Foden, but he couldn't because he was not willing to relocate. And I actually tried this myself, you can see it on the video. And then he said Real Madrid was able to sign this player anyway. So it looks like we're restricted from signing these kinds of players, but the AI is not really restricted. They can sign whoever they want, which is a little bit stupid. So I decided to do a little FIFA 16 experiment. I had the money to buy Vincent Kompany for Notts County. I had a financial takeover done, and it let me go into wage negotiations with him. But the first wage offer he declined because he was a top player at his current club and he didn't feel like the move suited him. But the game let me revise my offer and the player would take it under consideration. So I did that and I gave him an offer of £270,000 a week and he accepted it. So basically everyone has a price, you know. If you pay the right amount of money, they will move. A lot of people would move to a different location if they had the right amount of money offered to them. So it's better than completely saying like he doesn't want to relocate so you can't offer him any money. At least FIFA 16 let you tempt the player with a bigger wage. So this is something that Lim noticed. He said that when you win the Premier League, the winners patch removes the kit sponsor. So take a look at Lukaku's jersey. Before you win the Premier League, it's got the patch on the right and then it's got the cola sponsor on the left. This is what it's supposed to be. But then I won the Premier League with United and I got 2 gold patches and the cola sponsor got removed. And I think this is happening with a lot of the Premier League kits. I'm not sure if that's meant to be happening, but it's something that a lot of people are experiencing. I do like the look of the 2 patches more than the 1 because, you know, you've won the Premier League. I guess you deserve the 2 gold patches and it's better than looking at a kit sponsor. But in terms of realism, I'm not sure if it's entirely realistic. It could be a bug. So this is something that's a little bit random, but Kowalski is telling me that the home team is always kicking off first in career mode. Now, I haven't paid attention to this, but I've tested it in like 3 or 4 games in a row, and it's sort of happening, and I've started to notice this now as well. So I think you guys should test this thing out as well and tell me your results, because this shouldn't be happening. In real life, you know, the coin toss determines who kicks off. It's not always the home team, so I don't know why it's happening in the game.